Hey there, welcome to the channel. Today I'm talking about which Spider-Man had the most fatalities. What got me started down this rabbit hole? I was watching the Amazing Spider-Man movies and noticed that in each of Andrew Garfield's movies there is a significant death. I mean, Spider-Man isn't doing the Stacy family any favors. So I thought I'd make a point system. 1 point for regular citizens. They have to be seen on screen because I can't count figurative fatalities. 2 points for named characters, like Gwen Stacy. 4 points if Spider-Man tries to kill someone. This happens more often than you'd think, and is shockingly not talked about. And 1 point if a villain dies on screen, and it is not Peter's fault. If it's not already obvious, the less points the better. So let's pick up where we left off. Andrew Garfield. Yes, he has 2 notable deaths, so that's going to be an automatic 4 points. I thought about Uncle Ben and Peter's parents, but he is not Spider-Man during the time that they die, so I am not going to count those deaths. Norman Osborn, however, is going to rack up another 1 point. He is going to count as a civilian death. Even though he is a named character, he doesn't really interfere with Spider-Man stuff, so I docked a point. Honestly, Andrew's track record is pretty good. Harry goes to jail at the end of the second movie, and the Lizard gets cured. Electro is going to get him 1 more point, and Dr. Ashley Kafka will earn him 1 more point, because both of those are going to be put in the villains that die but aren't his fault category. There is a deleted scene where Harry throws the Oscorp executive off a building. I'm going to put that as 2 points, because he is a full character throughout the movie. Another positive for Andrew is that there are no civilian deaths in the first movie. Oddly enough, the Rhino in the second film kills about 14 people. Even if you cut that in half and say he killed 7, that's far beyond either of the other main villains of the film. All in all, still not a bad score of 23 points. I'm going to ruin the ending and say that Toby is going to be crazy. For right now, let's do Tom. There's 1 death in the first Tom Holland movie. Honestly, I didn't even remember this, but it's the Shocker, and he dies and is replaced, so that will be a quick 1 point. In the second movie, everyone forgets that Mysterio was basically creating natural disasters in public areas. Yeah, the civilian kill count is high. It's somewhere between 52 and 54. It's hard getting those numbers exact. A lot of times I'll be tracking background actors and they just disappear. So I'll be nice and say 35, but honestly, somewhere in the 50s was already pretty generous. Can't forget Mysterio dies at the end. That's going to add 1 point. Okay, in No Way Home, Aunt May is the big 2-pointer. Honestly, it feels like that should be more points, but I'm going to stick to my point system. There are 0 villain deaths in No Way Home, and roughly 5 to 7 civilian deaths. I'm going to stick to 5, so his total is 44. Not great. Honestly, going into this, I thought Tom would have the least points. This is the moment I've been waiting for. Toby. Look, if you're going to mess around with one of the 3 Spider-Men, don't mess around with Tobey Maguire, because he will kill you. Okay, so I am going to dock him points for Uncle Ben. 2 points. And then he hunts and kills that guy. 4 points. Actually, maybe there should be more points for successful murder as opposed to attempted murder. Let's say 6 points for murder and 4 points for attempted. So we're up to 8 points. 22 civilian deaths in the first movie. And then 1 point for the Green Goblin dying from his own glider. 29 deaths in Spider-Man 2. I thought they would be in the train scene, but the death toll really racked up in the test scene. Speaking of, Rosie is a named character, and we will add 2 points for her death. We are already at 63 points, and Spider-Man 3 is where Tobey does some of his best work. Doc Ock's death will be 1 point, so 64. Okay, let's look at Spider-Man 3. As far as civilian deaths, only about 8, which is significantly less than the other 2 films. That makes a lot of sense because one big CGI fight is happening away from civilians. But Spider-Man is trying to kill everybody in this movie. Let's tackle Harry Osborn because he gets points for attempted murder and points for being a named character death. There's a scene where Harry and Spider-Man are fighting and Spider-Man throws a bomb at his face. He survives, but it definitely seems like the kind of thing you'd do if you were trying to murder someone. That'll be 4 points. He also dies as Peter's friend at the end, so that will be another 2 points as a named character. If you haven't seen Spider-Man 3 in a while, a big part of this movie is that Sandman is Uncle Ben's killer. It's a real bummer because that means the guy Tobey successfully murdered back in Spider-Man 1 was innocent. But oh well, that's not what he's thinking about. He's worried about who to murder next. So for 4 points and an attempted murder, Sandman is next on the list.
Good riddance.
Funny thing is, it feels like Venom is more of a villain than either of the other two. And Toby tries to save him from blowing up. Tries and fails. So that'll be another point. All rounding Toby up to 82 points altogether.